What if one of the world's most powerful nations suddenly cut off nearly all internet access, closed its airspace to every aircraft, and faced nationwide protests calling for regime change? That's happening right now in Iran, and it may be one of the most consequential global crises we've seen in years. In late December 2025, Iran was already dealing with a deep economic crisis, inflation above 40%, the Iranian rial losing value rapidly, and everyday life becoming harder for ordinary people. People took to the streets across cities like Tehran, Mashhad, Yazd, and many others. What began as protests over the economy quickly grew into a nationwide call for political change, even chanting against Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. As protests intensified, the Iranian government executed one of the most severe internet shutdowns the nation has ever seen. According to international monitoring groups, internet traffic dropped by as much as 90%. National networks were offline, and international calls were blocked. The blackout wasn't random. It was precise and total. Historically, Iran has shut down the internet during protests before, in 2019 and other years, using it to suppress communication, control narratives, and hinder protest coordination. As if cutting off the internet wasn't dramatic enough, Iran also issued a NOTAM, a notice to airmen, closing its airspace to all flights. NOTAMs are official aviation warnings. When a country issues one telling pilots to not fly, it means serious security concerns are at play. In this case, all civil aviation was halted. International aviation authorities, including the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada, routinely advise airlines to avoid Iranian airspace due to risk from missile systems and military escalation. Protests did not die down. Instead, they spread. Thousands in major cities refused to be silenced, chanting slogans, confronting security forces, even expressing support for former leadership symbols. Reports from rights groups and doctors indicate hundreds of casualties, including deaths from live ammunition, as government forces attempted to suppress demonstrators. Amid international attention, former U.S. President Donald Trump issued a stern warning. He cautioned Iran's leadership against using lethal force against protesters, suggesting the U.S. could take action if violence escalates.
So Iran's in big trouble. It looks to me that the people are taking over certain cities that nobody thought were really possible just a few weeks ago. We're watching the situation very carefully. I've made the statement very strongly that if they start killing people like they have in the past, we will get involved. We'll be hitting them very hard where it hurts.
European governments and international organizations have also condemned the crackdown and called for restraint, while the Iranian leadership accuses foreign interference, particularly from the United States and Israel. With the internet shut down, how are protest images still reaching the world? Satellite internet systems like Starlink have enabled some citizens to bypass the blackout, capturing and sharing what's happening on the ground. Although limited in reach, this has allowed critical eyewitness footage to emerge. This crisis is more than just a national protest. It is reshaping regional security, global diplomacy, and international aviation safety. Airspace closures disrupt global flight routes. Internet blackouts show how governments may control information and influence public perception. And widespread protests challenge entrenched political systems. As Iran stands at a critical turning point, global attention will determine how this story unfolds. Leave your thoughts in the comments. What do you think will happen next?